one of the most legendary accounts in CSGO history just got hacked. $2 million of skins, including a whole collection of blue gems, multiple souvenir dragon lores, and the legendary no-star Karambit was stolen by the hackers. This is one of the craziest hacks in the entire history of the game. And not only that, I actually caught the moment where the hacker broke into the account live on stream. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in the history of the game, and we're going to be diving in and taking a look at what's gone wrong. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you can quickly and easily trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is log in through Steam and add your trade link. Once you're in, just select the skins you want and hit trade, and you'll instantly get a trade offer with the skins you're after. Anything extra will be added to your balance, and if a skin you want isn't tradable, you can just reserve it until it is. Use the code Heyzeus to get up to $5 free on your first trade, and you can also get 35% rather than 30% by using this code if you top up. And this one works unlimited times too. It's a great site, recommend checking it out, the link is in the description. So, it was a regular Tuesday night stream for me. Jack was on, I was opening cases, I've been getting f***ing nothing, and it was getting time to end. But then, a random message popped up that really caught my attention.
Yeah, someone said, have you seen HFP making his inventory public now?
There's some things I need to acquire if that's the case.
Holy shit! It's public! It's public! It's public! There it was! Out of the blue, the legendary inventory of the Emirati collector HFB was public again after being completely hidden for almost 3 years. Now, it was a bit odd that his profile picture had changed, but otherwise there was nothing immediately out of line. So we quickly went to check his skins.
Oh, does he still have the no star? I've been wondering, well, not everyone, but I have been
Let's have a
wondering.
look, let's have a look.
He does have the no star.
Does
still.
it? Okay, it's back with him.
People didn't know if he had it, or if Shaxi had it, or if someone else had it. And some people think something. Okay, that's good
All
to
right,
know.
I'm making... This is...
As you can tell, I was a bit shocked. I hadn't been expecting this plot twist, but it still was pretty cool. So I wrapped up the stream, made a quick short about it, and was about to go to bed when I noticed something a bit odd. The items in HFB's inventory were disappearing. Someone was taking them out. It wasn't quite clear who or why, so I went to sleep, having no idea of the absolute carnage that was about to unfold.
Hello? HFB did what?
That's Arrow, by the way, not me. Cool guy, by the way, you should sub to him. But either way, that's basically how my morning began. Within about 15 minutes, I was in my natural habitat, Adobe Premiere Pro, as I began to unpack the absolute carnage that had happened during my 6 hours of sleep. HFB skins had shown up, specifically on this Russian marketplace. And given the fact that HFB is not Russian, it's pretty easy to figure out that he'd been hacked. Now, we'll get to the hack soon, but first of all, let's just look at some of the sales that went down, because it is clear that the hacker either had no idea about the value of the items, was panic selling, or more likely, both. For example, there's this skin here, the legendary Hiko Blue Gem, a literal piece of CSGO history, and it is worth enough to literally buy a house in some places. It was sold for $940 on the site. Snipe of the century. Now, thanks to this resource here, we've got a good overview of the sales that went down. A ton of HFB's rare items were sold for way under the market. So, for example, HFB's factory new souvenir dragon lores, both easily worth over 100k, sold for more like $60,000. HFB's ×4 StatTrak AK-47 Redline Hyperpower Holocraft, it sold for 31,000 when it's worth more like 40,000 or 50,000. And HFB was also a big collector of rare StatTrak factory new knives, often things that were one of a kind. And as you can see, 2 of his StatTrak factory new M9 Bayonet Crimson Webs sold for sub 10,000 here. They're worth a lot more than that. Here's a StatTrak factory new Butterfly Crimson Web, also sold for a massive discount. StatTrak factory new Karambit Ultraviolet, again, sold bargain basement prices. There's a Night Stripe here, exactly the same. As you can see, it's just devastation. All these super expensive skins being sold for way less than they're worth. But it wasn't just happening on this Russian marketplace. Some of the skins were being sold on Buff as well. For example, HFB had the best condition set of Pandora's box gloves in the game, worth massive overpay, but they were literally quick sold, on buff, for a discount, picked up by this guy here, who probably thought he'd found the deal of his life. And within a couple of hours, HFB's inventory had been emptied and was private. But before people even had time to properly process what had happened, something even crazier started going on. Valve literally started reverting all the trades involving stolen skins. Now, it's worth noting that all of HFB skins have been sold on peer-to-peer sites, so they've gone directly to other traders rather than to a trading bot. But Valve were now literally going into people's accounts and removing HFB skins. For example, our friend here doesn't have the Pandora's boxes anymore. They're gone, they're not in his inventory. There's also chat logs to confirm this, or at least I think they confirm it, I can't read Chinese, and a screenshot of the skin being deleted. Even more tragic though is this guy bought 3 souvenir Dragon Lords plus a Stat Track Factory Butterfly Knife Knight off HFB, only for Valve to delete them, and that's probably $150,000 down the drain there. Now, there still is a fair bit of confusion about what exactly has gone down here, which skins have gone where and what's happened to them. There are reports that some people are avoiding bans by hiding items in storage units, and I know of one guy who's managed to avoid losing his item by going through several Steam Community Market sales. He does not want me saying who he is though, or what the item is, and I do not blame him for that. But it also seems that a couple of accounts that stocked up on a bunch of his skins have been community banned. This account here is the biggest example of it. He took all these skins from HFB, and on investigation, I believe this is an alt of the hacker. I mean, just compare its URL with the URL on HFB's hacked account. It looks suspiciously similar, like it's been generated in the same way. And also, the banned account doesn't really have a history on Steam Rep, so it looks like it's a dummy account, and I assume it is used by the hacker himself. Not 100% certain though, could be proven wrong, maybe it will even be lifted, we'll see. All that is certain though is a bunch of people have gotten community bans. The even bigger question though is how? How did HFB get hacked? When people first realised what was happening, there was near pandemonium. Some sites locked down in response as a precaution, and there were reports of serious security risks that began circulating. Now, thankfully, these turned out to be wrong, but that still doesn't explain why he was hacked. We know, thanks to Zipple, that HFB had been inactive for 3 years prior to the hack, but had also had his email and password changed apparently a week before the hack took place, but also didn't have the mobile authenticator removed. Interestingly, this would rule out the iPhone hack, which is a very common method, but that doesn't require changing emails and passwords, so it probably wasn't that. And as a result, a lot of the fingers have been pointed at Steam support, and the working theory is that Steam support may have been socially engineered. Now, I am not going to share any of the possible methods. Some have been suggested, but I don't want to spread possible methods of hacking Steam accounts, but there is a very good reason to think Steam support may have been involved, and it's the way they reacted. As Zipple points out, this would be my point anyway, but I'm going to include him as an argument for authority. As Zipple points out, Steam support got involved quite quickly and resorted to very radical methods to restore skins, and that is a pretty strong sign they made a massive up and they know it. Obviously, they're never going to tell us what it was, but it really implies Steam knows exactly what went down and are probably going to do something to make sure it never happens again. So if you've got skins, you really don't need to be worried. That said though, there's still one big asterisk over this entire incident. Steam might have reverted the trades involving the stolen skins, presumably giving them back to HFB in the process, but a lot of the people who bought them paid real money on third-party sites, and because these sites are completely independent from Valve, there's no system in place to make sure they get refunded. Now, it's true Buff has stepped in to lock down and return the funds, and I applaud them for that, that is really good, but this whole incident does highlight a serious problem with the market. Having Valve control the skins and a completely unrelated party control the money is a recipe for disaster. And you could end up in a situation where an innocent party might lose thousands of dollars to a hacker even though Valve has reversed the trade, because the money is in the hands of a completely separate party. And this problem is not going away either, because Valve can't be directly involved with these cash sales because it carries huge legal risk for them. They're never going to guarantee your sales on another platform. So if you see a deal that seems too good to be true, it's worth making sure it's not a stolen item before you buy, because it could really come back to bite you in the ass. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.